If this stretch is working for you, by all means continue. But today we're looking at other methods you can use to improve your hamstring mobility.
And the next question should be, how do you know if you have hamstring tightness? Well, some people say they have trouble picking up objects just because they're not bending well and they have that pull in the back of the leg. Other people just feel like they have a stiff hip, but you could actually measure it, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the 90-90 active knee extension test. You're gonna lie on your back. Back should be nice and flat so there's no arching or there's no gap here. We're gonna bring hip to 90 degrees. We're gonna bring knee to 90 degrees. Support back of thigh. Once you're here, all we're doing is extending that leg, and we're measuring the angle between straight vertical from the thigh and shin angle. Having that number will help us determine if there is some hamstring limitation.
Welcome, this is now a tech tutorial channel. I'm going to open up my picture in GIMP, grab the measure tool. With the measure tool, click right in the middle of my knee joint, drag it up a little bit. You get that bar that points straight up. And then with this line, we're going to put it right in the middle of the leg along the tibia, connecting to the malleolus, that bony outside part of the ankle. Once you're there, you have your angle. So looking at my angle, 33.15. Is that good?
The cutoff for the test is 20 degrees, but a recent study from 2018 suggests the numbers might be a little bit higher.
Now that we know a hamstring flexibility issue exists, we're gonna lengthen our hamstrings under load to improve the flexibility. And all that means is we're gonna use some type of external weight that pulls us into a more lengthened position to provide that stretch. Two big benefits here. Not only are we stretching the muscle, but at the same time with these exercises, we're also strengthening the muscle. So let's jump into those, starting with the RDL. So the RDL, the Romanian deadlift, uses a hip hinge movement that stretches and strengthens the posterior chain, namely the hamstrings and the glutes. So to do an RDL, you can do it with a barbell or a dumbbell. We're gonna hold it slightly outside of shoulder width if you're using the barbell. Little bend in the knees, soft knees, core is engaged, and we're essentially just slowly sliding this bar down the shins. Back is nice and flat, shoulder blades are pulled back. And once you get like a little bit past the knee area, you'll really start to feel those hamstrings stretching. So once we're in this position, the weight is trying to pull us down even further to get us more into that stretch. That's where that lengthening under load comes in. So once you feel that stretch, we are sliding back up, not by pulling the weight, but just by reversing our hip hinge. So driving the hips forward, sliding the bar back up the legs, and squeezing the glutes at the top. So we come down, core is nice and tight, sliding, 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 shoulders back. Feel that stretch, hold that stretch. Then we're gonna shoot up, reverse the hinge, and squeeze the glutes. That is an RDL. Great way to strengthen and stretch the hamstrings. Along the same concept is the good morning. So this can be weighted or unweighted. If you're using a barbell, it's gonna go on your back. Shoulders nice and tight, core's engaged. It's the same concept. We still have that hip hinge, little bend in the knees. We're hinging at the hips, keeping the bar on the lower traps. You will, once you get to a certain point in your hip hinge, you'll really feel that hamstring pulling. And then the same thing here. We are reversing the hinge, driving up, squeezing the glutes. So it looks down, hinge, 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 and up. Squeeze the glutes. Down, hinge, feel that hamstring stretch, hold, and reverse. That is the good morning. We are stretching and strengthening the hamstring. The last one here for the hamstring is not so much lengthening under load, but it's a good dynamic hamstring stretch that you can do actively, whether it's before or after your workout. So what we're gonna do here, still using the hip hinge, one leg comes out in front. These are called the scoops. One leg comes out in front with your arms, or still hinging at the hips, reaching down and pulling up with the arms. And then we just switch. Reach, hinge down. You'll feel that hamstring pulling here. And as you drive the arms through, you'll feel it even more. Here. There. Leg is nice and straight so we can get that hamstring stretch. And that is the hamstring scoop. So try those 3 hamstring exercises, and chances are you might already be doing those. So with an emphasis on the lengthening with the weights, we can drive hamstring flexibility improvements. If you are not seeing the results that you want to see, maybe there's a little more going on than just your tight hamstrings. If you think maybe sciatic nerve is involved, check out this video. That'll help explain a little bit, and you'll understand why the sciatic nerve is so closely associated with hamstring stretching.